When you put all of these together, the enterprise fund numbers, the IGT numbers, and the matching or the indirect cost numbers, instead of a significant deficit from year to year over the 5-year period, you actually have the nursing home, all things considered, with a small, roughly $650,000 surplus, an average of about $110,000 a year. When you put all of these together, the enterprise fund numbers, the IGT numbers, and the matching or the indirect cost numbers, instead of a significant deficit from year to year over the 5-year period, you actually have the nursing home, all things considered, with a small, roughly $650,000 surplus, an average of about $110,000 a year. So the bottom line here is, in terms of what does that mean if you look at this as a cost per day figure. Again, I know this is complicated because you're bringing various different funding sources into this, but it's the only way to look at this. If you're looking only at the enterprise fund, you're looking at it in a too limited way. If you're only looking at any one component of this, you're not seeing the whole picture. So what we've tried to do is to bring all of these revenue sources and streams together to say, when you put it all together, what does it add up to? What it adds up to is this 5-year overall, roughly, I think I said about $560,000 of net plus surplus for the nursing home over the last 5 years, which actually comes out to not a cost per day, but an actual quote surplus, modest, but nonetheless a positive number.
Okay, Norby, let's go.
A net average over the 5 years, roughly $650,000 surplus. Very different than what I think some of the perspectives that you sometimes hear in the media and in other places have suggested.
$11,000 a day, paying $11,000 a day to maintain this skilled nursing facility.
If the county and the nursing home were willing to implement a series of cost savings or revenue enhancement opportunities. We spend a number of pages in the report going through a wide range of possible options of things that could be done to reduce costs. They're sort of boiled down in summary fashion here, and I won't go through them except to say there's some hard choices here. We're not saying these are easy to do, but we are saying we believe that if people are serious about wanting to maintain the county home as a county-owned home, there are things that you can do that we believe conservatively could save about $2.25 million per year on an annual basis going forward. This is looking essentially at the next 3 years. We estimate that on an annual basis, just making better use of existing staff and supporting that with some clerical support can generate, we estimate, $175,000 a year. We believe that may be a conservative estimate, but we believe it's a real opportunity for some revenue enhancement there. We've laid out some options in the report that we believe, if the county is serious about continuing to operate the home, we believe that there are ways that, compared to the projected costs that lead to that $3.5 million deficit, that could shave an average of about $280,000 a year off of salaries, not a reduction so much in current salaries, but a reduction in the rate of growth going forward. And similarly, in terms of the benefit package, we believe that there are opportunities to put some limits on that, not that would cut it back so much from where it is now, but limit the growth opportunity there, that again, compared to that $3.5 million deficit, we believe that could be shaved back considerably. We estimate annual cost savings on the benefits side there of about $650,000. That's going to take some tough decision making. The potential growing demand for nursing home services and for long-term care services in general, not just institutional care. As you look at the demographic projections that have been done for this county and around the state, the projections that we have looked at suggest that the senior population, the 65 and older population in the county, will be growing between now and 2030 by about 25%, which means that by 2030 there will be about 28,000 people living in the county who are 65 and older. And that will represent almost 1 out of every 4 county residents by the year 2030. The county is not going to lose its Medicaid contribution if you sell the facility. You're going to have people, let's say I need to go to a nursing home, and let's say I'm on Medicaid. I'm going to go to some other facility, let's assume in the county, and the county's going to be paying my Medicaid bill. It's just not going to go to the county nursing home. It's going to go to either whoever the new owner is, or I may choose to go to some other facility in the county. The county is still going to have the obligation for that Medicaid, the portion of my cost of care at that facility, wherever it is. County's still going to be obligated for that Medicaid contribution. There are some definite concerns that if you sell, you lose total control of what goes on in the nursing home. If you look at the total tax impact is a plus from a taxpayer perspective, and there also is a small additional value to just adding it to the tax roll itself, which helps to kind of displace the overall tax levy and reduce the individual levy on an individual or the actual payment that an individual homeowner would owe. That's a relatively small amount, $1.76 a year, but $1.76 is $1.76. It would cost about $15 a year for that level of subsidy. In other words, for the county to do the matching funds to draw down a $3.5 million IGT payment, it would cost, for average taxpayer, your average homeowner in the county, that would be a hit of $6.50 at the low end to $15.50 at the high end to cover the county's projected cost if you do all these other things that we have suggested. Again, we think that $2.25 million is on the conservative side, because there are a number of things that we didn't include in there that we could have, but we just didn't feel comfortable enough putting a number value around it. But so we think possibly the savings are even greater. But if you do those kinds of things, we believe that you can get, going forward, a net county contribution down to somewhere in the $550,000 per year to $1.3 million per year. Now, that's still a lot of money, but it's significantly less than what has been projected going forward. And again, depending on people's interpretation of is that reasonable or not, could make it potentially feasible to stay in the nursing home business if you choose to do that. Just so you have a perspective on this, the average homeowner, it would cost about $15 a year for that level of subsidy. In other words, for the county to do the matching funds to draw down a $3.5 million IGT payment, it would cost the average taxpayer about $15 per year to access that money. So the last 5 years have looked pretty good by comparison to what I think the media has typically reported, what most of you have heard. There's a lot more sanguine view of the economics, the financial picture of the nursing home over the last 5 years.